We're literally about to start recording. Shut up about the spooky whispering already.
Fine, I'm not lying though.
No one in my house was awake at that time, Prez. It's impossible.
My point exactly, Ad.
Right, yes, it's totally a ghost out to get me in my search history.
Care to explain?
Haha. All right, well, are we both ready?
Yep.
Okay, in three,
2, 1.
1.
Welcome back to Case Closed, our brand new true crime podcast. Last week, we began investigating the case of Pearl Adams. If you missed our last episode, what are you doing here? Just kidding. To catch you up, Pearl was a 33-year-old woman found dead at the bottom of her staircase after suffering from stomach pain following lunch with a friend.
We listened to the known suspect's interrogation tapes and had a shot at trying to figure out who it could have been, but there wasn't much to be found from the tapes alone.
In today's episode, we'll be solely focusing on the victim of the case, Pearl, her family, friends, crucial details of her life, and most importantly, her relationships with the suspects.
Make sure you check out our previous episodes. You're all caught up in the details of this crazy case.
Ready to get started?
Yeah, let's do it. Today we will be covering Pearl's family, her background, friends, and relationships with each one of our suspects, Bob Adams, Edith Stone, Darren Fox, and Ada Holt.
First, we'll make ourselves and you guys familiar with some of Pearl's closest family.
This includes Pearl's father, Howard, her stepmother, Rosemary, and her stepbrother, Frank.
Pearl was also close with two of her cousins, Craig and Joseph.
Sadly, Pearl's father and stepmother were already deceased at the time of Pearl's death. However, her cousins and her stepbrother were all still alive and mourning in their own ways.
Between last week and this week, we found out a bit more information about Pearl's family dynamic.
Her mother passed when she was just 8, and her father remarried shortly after.
Despite initial differences, Pearl and her stepbrother became closer and closer as they grew up, developing a true brother-sister bond.
So, an unusual situation in terms of family, especially for that time, though it seems wholesome.
Yep, well, you'll be pleased to know that Frank, her stepbrother, and Craig and Joseph, her cousins, spoke briefly to police.
Really?
Apparently all of them lived out of town at the time, but came back as soon as they heard about Pearl and voluntarily spoke to the cops.
Were they interrogated?
I'm actually not sure. They might have just asked what happened or something. I don't know if the police actually talked to them, though, interrogated them, like you said.
Hold on. It looks like they were, though the detectives didn't ask nearly as many questions as they did the suspects for obvious reasons. They were well away from the crime area.
Are there tapes of the interrogations available or anything else?
I'm not sure, but I do see a transcript from Craig and Joseph's interrogation. You want to read them with me?
Ew, no.
Too bad.
So, Detective Bailey starts with this. Thank you both for speaking with us. I assure you I won't take too much of your time.
Absolutely.
Glad to help.
Do either of you know of anyone that would have possibly had a motive to harm your cousin?
No, nobody. Nobody comes to mind whatsoever. Pearl was one of those people that couldn't threaten to... I don't even know that. But she could make anything sound sweet as sugar, all I'm saying.
Exactly.
Okay, all right. Did she happen to be going through a rough patch with anybody that she may have mentioned to either of you? For example, her best friend, her husband.
No. She did complain a bit about Edith, but nothing major.
What exactly was the nature of those complaints?
Something about letters. It was a long time ago.
I'm sure whatever it was would be irrelevant at this point.
Yeah.
If you happen to remember what those letters were regarding, please alert me, all right?
Of course, yes.
All right.
In fact, I believe we may still have the letters at home. Craig?
I believe we might, yeah. We will take a look and let you know, sir.
Excellent. I appreciate it.
Please let me know about anything we can do to help.
Certainly. Thank you both.
Interesting.
Really? There's not much to say about it. Friends complain about each other occasionally.
Oh, gee.
Ha.
I want to know more about those letters. Do you think we could find them anywhere? Did Craig and Joseph ever return with them?
Let me look. Nothing immediately pops up. What would these letters be about, anyway?
Not sure. I do have a feeling they could help a ton with solving this case, though.
I will definitely go into it a bit more later. Sorry, my internet gone haywire.
Again? Geez, your Wi-Fi really doesn't want us to continue with this case. Ad?
Is it working all right now? I disconnected and reconnected.
Oh, thank God. Sorry, I just had a bit of deja vu from our last episode.
Are we good to continue?
Yeah, alright. Anyway.
Stop teasing me, Frankie. Edith and I were best friends, and you have no say in that matter. Anyway,
She's odd. Maybe it's why you're friends.
you say she's odd, and yet you have fewer friends than I do.
Hey!
Maybe you're just jealous. Edith is such a wonderful friend. I know we'll always be inseparable.
Now let's talk about Pearl's stepbrother, Frank. He was interrogated, and this time there's a tape to listen to.
Really? Okay.
I'll play it 1 second.
I cannot say how sorry I am for your loss. From what I know, you and Pearl were very close.
Yes, we were indeed. I'm struggling to get my head around it, but, carry on.
Thank you. Now, I asked Pearl's cousins, Craig and Joseph, this same question. Do you know of anyone that might have wanted to harm Pearl?
No one. It's ridiculous. Whoever did this was an awfully talented actor, as everyone in Pearl's life doted on her.
I see. Not even an argument of any kind? Mr. Anderson?
Oh, I do apologize. I have to say, I am feeling a small deal of guilt.
Why is that?
I'm rather ashamed to admit this, but Pearl and we did argue. Not long before her passing.
I see. What was this argument about, if I may ask?
Something about her friend, Edith. I don't remember what specifically, I'm afraid. This incident hasn't been easy on my memory.
Was this argument ever resolved?
Not entirely.
All right. Well, I'm sorry that happened.
It's upsetting, I'll say that. There was never a spare moment to apologize before. Well,
I'm sorry you and your stepsister did not have a chance to reconcile. It must be hard.
I just feel so responsible.
For what happened to her?
No, that I had nothing to do with, not a bit. But I can't help but wonder if things would have played out differently, if we had forgiven one another. You know, one choice can change everything.
I understand. Well, this is all we need from you. Thank you for your time today. My thoughts are with your family.
I truly appreciate it, Detective.
That was...
Sad.
I was going for suspicious, but sad too, yeah.
Suspicious? In usual circumstances, I'd agree, but why would he admit all that to the detective if he was guilty, you know?
You're right, but what if he admitted it to Bailey before it somehow got discovered later on?
He was miles and miles away from where the crime supposedly took place.
Okay, fair point. To be honest, I'm just trying to find more possible suspects in the case. It's puzzling.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, why don't we move on from Pearl's family and move on to her relationships with the suspects we talked about last episode?
Sounds good.
All right. We are back and have decided to first look into her relationships with Bob and Edith.
We actually found an interrogation tape that Detective Bailey had with both Edith and Bob, so that's why we're looking into them first.
Yeah, Edith was supposedly very close with Pearl and Bob.
Perhaps a bit too close.
Until a few months before Pearl's passing, anyway.
Bob and Edith both spoke to this in the interrogation we mentioned. The entire tape is kind of long, so we're only going to play the parts today that are relevant to what we're looking at right now. We'll listen to the rest of it in a future episode.
Yep. All right, shall I start it?
Go ahead.
How were things between you and Pearl leading up to the incident?
As I mentioned in a previous discussion, everything was absolutely fine.
Yes, but I'm now speaking to the both of you, together, as a whole. Bob, what were things like with Edith and yourself?
Well,
How is this relevant? And shouldn't you be asking me the same?
I was just about to. Please kindly wait until I have an answer from Mr. Adams.
Edith and I weren't speaking as much as we used to, I suppose.
And why was that?
I really do hate to interrupt you once again, but I'll ask once more. How is this relevant at all to Pearl?
Miss Stone, please.
Edith's right. I'm sorry, but I agree. I don't see how this is going to help us at all.
I'm afraid you don't quite have to understand. All you have to do is answer the question. Let's try this again.
Bob and Edith basically just became increasingly difficult throughout that part of the interrogation, so we're not going to waste time listening to more of the same thing.
Edith really does not like these interrogations, does she?
Yeah, she's getting very frustrated, as is the detective, and rightfully so.
What do you think that tells us?
You sound like an English teacher. We're focusing on the relationships with her and Pearl, remember?
Yeah, I know.
There isn't much more to be said of Edith and Pearl. They were best friends. Till the end.
That's uncharacteristically depressing of you.
This case is pretty depressing.
Not wrong.
Okay, well, while I was being uncharacteristically depressing and all that, I found the next part of the tape that we were going to listen to.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
And could you tell me more about the group dynamic between the three of you?
Thick as thieves. We were absolutely inseparable. From high school until...
Edith's right. Recent events have taken a toll on both of us, but I'm truly so grateful for Edith's kindness and support.
As am I, Bobby.
Bobby. It's not funny, it's not.
No.
It's just a little bit. Okay, in all seriousness, Presley, do not laugh again, I swear. That was really weird. Something interesting was going on between those two, I can feel it.
So could Bailey, apparently.
I did have a thought about what was possibly going on there.
Oh?
Well, this may be a stretch, but I kind of got an off vibe from the way Bob immediately agreed with Edith during this first segment we listened to. Perhaps Edith's, I don't know, threatening him, maybe?
That's a possibility.
That's the case, then Bob was really going through it.
Yeah, really.
Well, we will be right back, and then we will discuss some more about Pearl's relationships with a couple of other suspects. We're back and going to listen to a few parts of an interrogation between Detective Bailey, Ada, and Darren.
Yep.
Okay, let me play it.
So, Mr. Fox, were you the person that hired Miss Holt as a waitress?
I was, yes. It's a semi-small staff, and I do all the hiring myself. You know, I like to consider everyone at the cafe, both the customers and the workers, as a big family.
Well, that is a very nice outlook. How long ago would you say you hired Miss Holt?
Oh, boy. I'd have to say it was probably about a year ago now. Ada has been a very dedicated worker for me. I appreciate her hard work and her long hours very, very much.
I see. Would you say that is about accurate, Miss Holt?
I'd say so, yes.
I see. Are either of you able to provide an alibi for your whereabouts at the time of Miss Adams' death?
You said she died around 5, right?
4 to 5 in the afternoon, yes.
Well, at that time, I would have been closing up the restaurant. I obviously wouldn't have been anywhere near Pearl.
All right. And you, Miss Holt?
I was closing up with Darren.
You were? Must have slipped my mind. I can't say I recall you being there, Ada.
Well, I certainly was.
I'm not doubting you. Don't worry.
I need complete honesty here, Mr. Fox. You don't remember Ada being at your restaurant while you were closing up that day?
Unfortunately, I do not. No.
Miss Holt, any comment on that matter?
No, I was there.
That's interesting.
Certainly is. So Darren and Ada had different memories of who was there at closing time that day.
Yeah, we can talk about that more at a later time, but right now I'm more interested in Darren's relationship with Pearl. While Ada knew Pearl due to her being a bit of a regular at the Savoury Spoon, Darren knew Pearl long beforehand.
Yeah, he knew Pearl and Frank when they were kids.
Yep.
Gives Darren even less reason to want to kill Pearl, at least that's what I think.
Are you sure? It could have given him even more of a reason, seeing as Darren could possibly know things about Pearl that everyone else failed to.
Things that even Edith didn't know? Frank? Bob?
I mean, maybe. Who knows how close they actually were?
True. I just don't know.
It's hard to know anything for sure when dealing with something like this.
Yeah.
It's honestly just so sad, though, and hard to imagine that anyone would want to hurt Pearl at all, let alone kill her. She seemed like such a sweet person.
Yeah, that's the sad thing about the world. There's so many twisted, depressing people out there.
Sure are.
So, we've discussed some more things about Pearl and uncovered a few interesting and suspicious revelations.
In next week's episode, we'll begin to focus more on the suspects as individuals.
Well, based on the new information from today, have your suspicions changed from last week?
Yeah, actually, I'm thinking that Ada knew more about Pearl's death than she was letting on.
I'm not sure if she knows anything about what happened to Pearl, but there's definitely something.
Yeah, I was... Is that on your end by any chance?
Nope, yours. I heard it through my headphones.
Alright, I'm not going crazy at least.
Are you gonna check it out, or?
Nah, probably my chair, it rattles like that. Oh my god, sorry, I told my family I was recording. I'm sorry, I'll be a second.
Wait, Ad. Ad, you there?
Yeah, there wasn't anyone there. Hold on, I'm gonna tell my brother to leave me alone. My parents are asleep, but his bedroom light's still on. I'll be 1 second, I'm so sorry.
Ad, no.
I'm back.
Ad.
Oh god, Prez, don't start. This is the worst time to creep me out. Apparently my brother was fast asleep.
Look, will you please listen to the recording with me after we're done?
I guess. Will you stop talking about it, at least for now, if I promise to do that?
Yeah, you seem really shaken up though. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just hate unexplainable things like that stupid knock at my door just now. It's just annoying. I want to know where that stupid noise came from.
Then you're really gonna hate listening to those recordings. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Let's just record the outro, okay?
Yeah. Well, we hope you loved this episode, and we'll see you next time on Case Closed.
Bye, guys. That was fun.
Yeah, okay, let me get up the recording.
Oh, you were serious about that?
Yes, I was, and you promised.
Press, I get that you were scared. I do, but ghosts, random whispers, doesn't that all sound a bit ridiculous to you?
Sounded like something, alright?
Yeah, alright, fine. Just play it. Do you have it ready?
I think it's at the right spot, yeah.
Hey, 1 second. I'm so sorry.
Alright, no.
Please find letters and
I'm back.
Ad.
Oh god, Prez.
Ad.
Yeah, sorry.
See?
What do you mean?
The whispers were there, you heard it too, I know you did.
It's probably just the wind or something. It's storming a bit over here.
Ad, get real. Since when are wind gusts able to form words?
I don't know, okay? You really just freaked me out.
Well, I'm sorry, I mean...
I'm going to get off. It's late and I need to sleep, and so do you.
Ad. D. Ad, look, I wasn't trying to scare you. I swear, it wasn't me with the whispers. You're scaring me. Adain, please call me back. I'm honestly getting really nervous. Okay, I don't know if you're just playing a game or something, but come on, Ad. This is my last call for now. I don't know what's happening, but clearly you're not planning on answering me, so I'm gonna stop filling your voicemail box with useless messages. Please call me or text me or send a literal smoke signal when you want. Okay. Bye.